Battery 100%.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Today, we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the New York Giants. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. First play and a first pass for Cousins. And incomplete to open things up.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
On second and 10, Cousins. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain, and the Giants are going to take possession of the football. What's no secret, he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
They'll start with the option. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Man open is Robinson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Hold it ready.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is recovered by the Chargers. And I guess we're back to square one. A rocky start here. A turnover followed by a turnover.
Not exactly what we expected going into the game, but I always wonder about the nerves and people starting, the emotions of the game. Sometimes it takes a little while for that to play out and for them to settle in. Let's hope that that's taken care of now.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he is going to have the Chargers first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Up the middle they go with McAllister. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Cousins. Escaping the and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Aaron Donald, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. Open man here is Conklin. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. It's another 1st down as this time they get an even 20. Hurts. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards?
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson. And the Chargers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know, some big guy, we're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Aaron Donald. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
That pass caught. It's Williams. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Cousins. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Randy Gregory drops him for a loss of 14 yards. And it also brings up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this will be taken at the 13. 35 yards that time on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Play action. Here's Hurts. Pressure comes and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 5 there as the safety blitz winds up paying off. Charles, this offense just can't seem to get off the ground.
But the quarterback, he has to keep picking himself off the ground because this pass rush, they've been on him so far in a big way. 3 sacks here in the first half. He might tell his offensive line, quit helping me up and just block the guys in front of you.
37 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And, partner, I know so far, we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
But you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
Hey, no, easy. Hot.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. He's got this complete to Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Down to about the 37.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
The Chargers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw, Cousins. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Giants are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made by Devin Lloyd, the linebacker. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Hurts throw into the hands of his receiver, Guyton. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. The Giants come into this one still undefeated despite the one tie. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
Trap 60, trap 60.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hurts. And he comes back with one complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Throwing is Hurts. And he's got his man on the out route. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Here we go, Scott.
To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Nick Needham picks it off. And the Chargers will take over here just shy of the 30. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game? Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Cousins to throw it. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Cousins now from the 50. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll run up the middle with McAllister. They find some. There he goes, left side. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. So after a scoreless first quarter, our first score of the game here in quarter number 2.
And it comes on a great run, too, Brandon, because once he got past that first wave, how about how he kicked it into high gear, able to outrace defenders all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out.
Let's go. Hey, pass. Ready.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Micah Parsons coming in for that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far.
And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And the Chargers are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On the give, McAllister with it. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Cousins now. Flushed out right. Gets this to Campbell out on the right side. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful. It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Hey, Steven.
Here's Cousins. He'll buy some time right. And this is hauled in by Williams for a Charger touchdown. Jamison Williams in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chargers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now 14-0. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go now.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Robinson. And And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Come on.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. 1st and 10, it's Patterson. There to make the tackle, Steven Nelson. You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Hurts throw pulled in by Robinson here. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Here's Hurts to throw. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
But they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Here we go. 65 catch.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Giants go on 4th but come up empty. And the Charger defense stands tall and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. They'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
Man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Tressway now, as he's on to punt for L.A. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so. But maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Well, following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Draw play. Here's McAllister. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Cousins. That's a screen play here for Carter. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. Wilson on the keeper, and he is going to have the Chargers first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's going to get this pretty close to the first down marker at the Giants' 30. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
On 3rd and short to give to the tight end. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
They give it off here to the tight end. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. On the stop was Aaron Donald.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. He's got Smith here. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. Throwing is Cousins. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Aaron Donald getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game. Even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season. Butker's kick here is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
From the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hurts. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Ready, check.
The Giants on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. They go play action with Hurts. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
On the ball now.
On 1st down, Hurts. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try to get the ball back again.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL. But if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game.
Panther 11, Panther 11.
To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Chargers will take over possession here up at the 44. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
The Charger drive about to get going. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. Following the interception, Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and they will take over 1st and 10.
Come on.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 35. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Hurts. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. But Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Cup 19. Ready?
Play action. Here's Hurts. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Chargers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down.
Hey, we're good.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Julian Love picks it. And the Giants are right back in this football game. And now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the 4th.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no. But the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. But we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Man open is Robinson. And he will have a Giants 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing is Hurts. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Steps away to his left, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Chargers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
The Charger drive about to get going. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Cousins here to throw. They'll set up the screen to Carter. And some room to roam now. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big pickup of 38. That's how you run the screen right there. The defenders get out of place, and then there's a lot of room to maneuver for your running back.
That's because all the defenders, or I should say the bulk of the defenders, were chasing the quarterback. Great disguise, great fake, kept the screen out there, turned into a large gain.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the L.A. Chargers. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Chargers, they improved to 5-3 as they approach the halfway point of this 17-game schedule. And they will be at home for one next week against the Las Vegas Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears.